Back in Minneapolis, the Reds, their best 21-game start in 20 years. They stand alone at first in the National League Central at 13-8. Trying to make it a sweep of the Twins. They look for their 5th win in 6 games. TJ Friedl has handled today's Twin starters back to mid-September of last year. Tall order, 6'9" Bailey Ober.
Fastball velocity, John, is way down. He is sometimes 87, 88. It's not the ball that's going to jump on you. He's going to be throwing below hitting speed. He's going to use a lot more changeups. The Reds need to know that before they ever get into the batter's box and use it to their advantage early.
Coming off the worst year of his career, first time he had an ERA over 5. He had generally been in the mid to high 3s. Surrendered 30 home runs. He leans on that changeup the most. He used to rely on that 4-seam fastball that when he entered the bigs was at 92.5. It's in the upper 80s these days. Lee killed it last season. TJ Friedl has killed Ober. He's 4 for 9 against him with a home run. Friedl, one of 3 Reds in the lineup today that have taken Ober deep lifetime. But Friedl struggling this season. He's 2 for his last 30, 8 strikeouts, and he's down 0-2.
The problem when you see a pitcher like Ober, especially with his height advantage, that doesn't throw very hard, it makes you jumpy. You start to chase pitches that might be higher than high, maybe a little bit further out of the strike zone, and that puts you in a problem situation against a guy that's not going to be able to strike you out just having stuff.
And you wonder how the matchup plays today. Friedl has had some issue with changeups this year. That's what Ober throws a lot of. Back-to-back appeals, and he got him on that second change. 1 away.
Well, what you just saw with the pitching sequencing of Bailey Ober, that's what you're going to see for the entire time that he's out there. He's going to move the ball around a little bit. Ball's not going to hit 90, and he's going to throw that changeup a lot.
Poked by McLean into no man's land. An awkward sprint after it by Luke Keyshaw. The well-placed hit. McLean had been 1 for his last 20. Did not start yesterday.
You know, a lot of times in this game of baseball, it's not really about how hard you hit it. We love to measure that. We love exit velocity. We love launch angle and how far the ball goes. But if you swing like that every time, you're going to hit 200. If you just get the barrel to the ball and you make solid contact, as McLean did there, you're going to live the highlight.
Ober looked a little awkward on that delivery. A wide miss to Elly De La Cruz, whose RBI hit in the 7th yesterday came batting right-handed. Bunt yanked back. We haven't seen that from Elly this year. So generally taller pitcher, you think a couple of things. He should be easy to run on. That's not the case with Ober. He controls the run game pretty well, and he should be easier to bunt on.
Well, I don't think there's anything in Ober's arsenal that he has that he can throw by Elly or surprise Elly. I think what he's trying to do is lower the arm angle just a little bit so he can get some run on that fastball and maybe keep the ball off the barrel a little bit more often. Because Ober, when we've seen him in the past, straight over the top, fastball was straight.
Much lower arm slot these days. Runner goes, good break, chop to Ober. Only play at first, McLean to second. A soft ground ball out. De La Cruz remains 0 for in his career against Ober.
Just remember the term under hitting speed. That is what Bailey Ober is today. So if you overswing, you're going to hit the ball off the end of the bat or you're going to miss it entirely.
Could the balance of Sal Stewart be a solution? Base hit, a walk, and a run scored yesterday. That's weakly nubbed. Ober has to cover. He works around the hit to McLean. There it is.
Better pizza, Papa John's.
Twins have lost 3 in a row. They're 9. Buxton, Larnach Bell. Originally, Matt Wallner was right in the heart of this order. He was a later scratch. Caratini, a rare nod cleaning up. Clemens, Keyshaw, Gray, Lee, and Outman is 0 for 18 on his season. Brady Singer, fresh off his lone win and quality start on the young year. Got a lot of soft contact from the Giants. Was very pitch efficient, but took a comebacker off his foot. Thank goodness x-rays were clean.
Well, the key against the Giants is he was in the zone a lot, and he stayed out of the middle, and he stayed down. So any contact that was made was normally either right at an infielder or popped up into the outfield.
Now there are many Twins that have hit Singer lifetime. That includes Buxton, 389. That's an 18 at bats, a couple of home runs in that time. There was some inconsistency with 2 strikes for Singer on the breaking ball. That was an area of focus. It was sharper last time out. It stung foul, early turn.
Well, he's thrown 2 breaking balls here in this at bat, and he hasn't gotten on either one of them. Sometimes you have a cold day like this and a dry day. It's difficult to get that pressure on that finger to get the ball to move.
Weak contact. Ke'Bryan Hayes, bare hand play on the run. Bounces away from Stewart. Buxton turns. He takes second.
Well, I thought when Ke'Bryan got to the ball and barehanded it, he was going to have himself an out. But the off-balance throw was more of a sinker to first base, and it bounced in such a way that Stewart could not handle it. That's a tough hop.
Base hit E5. And in scoring position right out of the gate. Now Trevor Larnach, who was 0 for 3, a walk and a strikeout yesterday. He walked off the bench as a pinch hitter Friday. Lifetime against Singer, 462. That includes a home run. And some of that informed by how Singer has fared when he shared the division with the Twins when he was a Royal. Pitched here 6 times, going 1-5 with a gaudy ERA. 1-1.
And those mistakes that you make in your early years, you can't really erase them from the statistical analysis of your performance against this club. But what you can do, as you've learned over the years, is make better pitches at the bottom of the zone.
And that's where we've seen refinement from the entire Reds rotation. They had one really tough turn. On the last turn that followed it, 3-0 in 5 games, a 2.5 ERA from the starters. Fouled back.
Well, right now for Brady, the breaking ball's not breaking at all. It's backing up. He knows it. The problem is you can't go through an entire inning and not have the breaking ball at least use it some advantage. So probably what he's going to try to do is drive it down into the bottom of the strike zone on top of home plate and then use the fastball to get him out. You want to show him a little bit of a different pitch, might even shift gears to the changeup, but that's normally not the case for Singer. He's fastball slider.
Misses on that breaking ball.
And that may be the breaking ball that he has to go to just to change a little bit of the eyes of the hitter.
Payoff pitch. In on his hands. Well, Wallner being scratched, a pretty big deal. He's got power. He does strike out a lot. Got hit in the ribs with a pitch in the Red Sox series. While he did pinch hit yesterday, he has had limited time in the field otherwise. Apparently that soreness still lingered today. It is still chilly. Temperatures have been in the 30s throughout the Reds' stay here, at least by feel. Payoff again. Check swing, appeal. He did not go. 2 on.
Driving that breaking ball down in the bottom of the zone. The pitch fooled Larnach, but he didn't quite catch the edge.
Josh Bell, who has hit well in this series, up and in. He has handled both the Reds and Singer. He has more hits and homers against the Reds than any other team. Lifetime against Singer, 4 for 9, 3 extra base hits. To left center. That's going to hang. Buxton shaping up to tag. Catch made by Steer. Tag only comes at second. Throw to second. So Buxton to third. Men at the corners. 1 out.
It was a nice reversal of angle for Spencer Steer on that ball. As he came to throw, he started to come up to throw to third and realized, I'm not going to get Buxton with my momentum carrying me back towards the left center field wall. And then immediately he just turned and flipped it to second base to keep the double play in order.
So Larnach held on at first. Victor Caratini just about never cleans up. And there's a reason for it. And not only is he not generally a run producer, the limited times he's ever hit cleanup, he's a 175 hitter. He is, though, another Twin that has handled Singer, and I got to think that's part of why he's there. He's 2 for 4 against him with a home run. Rhys Hines blowing into his right hand in right field. That's sent to center. Friedel coming on. Buxton to tag. Friedel makes the catch. Throw in. Cut by De La Cruz. Sac fly RBI. Reds down a run.
Well, the combination of Friedel's arm and the speed of Buxton, there's really no chance for a play at the plate there, even though Friedel was coming in aggressively and it was a line drive rather than a deep fly ball.
Cody Clemens, son of the Rocket, takes ball 1. He and his siblings all have first names that begin with K in honor of the strikeout prowess of Pops. One and 1. And here's a challenge. First inning, 2 outs, man at first. ABS powered by T-Mobile. He's right. 2 and 1. It's a gutsy challenge. Clemens has been traded multiple times in his major league career, including a move from Philly to Minnesota early last season. Just weeks after the deal, with Pops in the stands, well, more accurately in a luxury box, he went deep at Fenway Park. Here he goes down swinging against Singer. But Buxton gets on. We'll see if the Reds respond. Eugenio Suarez has been one of the Reds' hotter hitters. He'll get it going. Just a bit chilly here in Minneapolis. Twins games, the lowest starting temperature in baseball this season. It's in the low 40s today, but with the winds that are double-digit miles per hour, it feels like 30s once more. Suarez to third on the fly, the leaning Tristan Gray.
Makes you happy you work in Cincinnati.
There's a lot of reasons to be happy about that.
Amen.
But what a contrast. The Reds will be bound for sunny Florida after this. They'll take on the Rays, who had to use 8 relievers yesterday. Long rain delay against the Pirates. Miss to Spencer Steer, who came on in the 9th, pinch hit, base hit, and scored a critical run. He was 0 for 3 on Friday. Turns on this ball, fair foul. That is foul off the signage right above that limestone.
This should be a pitcher that Spencer Steer wears out. We talk so much about him being able to hit that breaking ball on the plate. Bailey Ober has slowed it down for him already before the game even starts.
He is 3 for 8 against Ober. All extra base hits. Swing and a miss. Time now for our Yellowwood bringing the number. Steer against off speed since the start of last year. Almost 330. Hard ground ball, just foul. Tristan Gray now gets a stride closer to that chalk down the third baseline. Foul tip, strike 3.
Well, slider off the plate. That ball never got on the plate. It started off the plate and stayed off the plate. But the problem is it's not hard, it's not high velocity, so you see it really good and you think I can hit it, and yet it's 3 or 4 inches off the outside corner. That's the part where the Reds are going to have to make that adjustment as you move forward in this ball game.
Is it fair to say their swings have been too eager so far?
Well, yeah, I think that's the natural progression for any hitter. When you see a guy throwing the ball 88 miles an hour, you think I'm going to hit. This is the day I'm going to get my home runs up. Well, that works to the advantage of Ober. You can't do that because your timing is going to be so off. You're going to swing before the ball ever gets there, and that's what we're seeing.
But Stevenson takes and gets ahead 3-0. He sees the right pitch 3-0 at 88. You might see some serious stuff. There's a 4-pitch walk. Well, first walk drawn by the Reds so far. Yesterday, Rhys Hines got his first base hit this season. Snapped an 0 for 28 going back to last year when he got a sinker fat in the zone. And he took it the other way. Also added a sac fly in the 8th. Turned the shoulder on that breaking ball. Ober's been walking men at a far higher rate early this year. His strikeout rate has dropped dramatically. Loaded swing at that breaking ball. If there is a candidate for starting pitcher least likely to throw a fastball in a situation, it's Bailey Ober right now. He went. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Ober. Stevenson straight.
Well, the Twins, our Elk and Elk injury update has to do with that guy. Jose Trevino hit off the machine today. Tomorrow in Tampa, he will throw early, then he will catch a live bullpen session of Caleb Ferguson on Tuesday, expected to hit live off of Lodolo. So those are all natural progressions, so he continues to progress in a fine manner.
Well, that conversation right there is the best thing that can happen to a young Chase Burns. When you get a veteran catcher sitting beside you talking about what's going on in the game, it doesn't matter if they're talking about ordering hamburgers. The fact that remains is that you're getting a conversation talking with a guy that's been around the game for a good bit of time, and I can most assuredly tell you that Trevino is talking to him about why something happens, why are you pitching this, why is somebody pitching this way. It just gives you a better general idea about what it takes to pitch at the big league level.
Luke Keyshaw, 2 hits, including a double, not went in yesterday. And he gets punched out on 3 pitches, taps the helmet. No. Yeah, he did. Are they awarding it? He starts walking away. Our home plate umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt, seemed to not acknowledge it. Now, Keyshaw's remaining wide of the circle, and now Nick Lentz from third is informing, I think, Wendelstedt that he challenged. But now Keyshaw seems to maybe not want to challenge. Derek Shelton is out saying challenge. If this happened in
The hitter has challenged the pitch. The pitch will be reviewed.
It did look like it was out of the zone. We saw this with the A's and the White Sox this weekend. And it was Jeff McNeil who informed the umpire.
The pitch
of
is the ball.
challenge.
The hitter will return to hit.
So ABS powered by T-Mobile, it is a ball.
Yeah, if you tap, it's on. It's not I can tap and then never mind. You don't get a never mind.
Yeah, and this weekend it was a pitch to McNeil that clearly was a ball. There was a head tap. It was not acknowledged, and McNeil pointed it out and said, no, you have to do it. And he knew it was going to stand as a ball, and they would lose the challenge. Admittedly, umpires have a lot they have to keep track of. The era of the pitch clock as well. 3-2.
Well, in all fairness, it was Luke Keyshaw's left hand that went up and tapped the helmet. And maybe Hunter Wendelstedt just didn't see it in his exuberance to go through the punch-out routine.
Popped up. Friedel. Yeah, there are some theatrics there. 1 down.
And I don't have any problem with that. I mean, that's a cool part of the game to watch an umpire in the different way that they call strike 3. I sure liked it when I was on the mound. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite old video clips is our friend Mud. Mark Grant with the Padres broadcast. Pitch misses to Gray back from his playing days. And he says people bring it up to him all the time. When he went through the punch-out move of every umpire that was active in that era.
And he used to do that all the time. When we were in AAA, coming up through the Giant system, he was always mimicking the umpires. And I'm thinking, God, how can you get that body language down just the exact same way that that guy is? Unique talent.
Tristan Gray was among the late adds to the club out of spring training. Closing in on 30 years old. Slaps this ball to center. Friedel has it.
And see, if you're Brady Singer right now, you will take that all day long. Every hitter that comes to the plate, hit it on the barrel, get that little 95-mile-an-hour fly ball into center field. Everybody with a computer says, boy, he hit it pretty hard, but he was out. Take that all day long. That's a can of corn.
Now Brooks Lee, base hit, a ribby, and a walk yesterday. His dad Larry, the longtime head coach at Cal Poly, who did name his son after Brooks Robinson. Swing and a miss, 0-2. There apparently was debate and great reverence for Lou Brock.
I don't think so.
But Brock Lee
Broccoli
would not work very well. So he said sometimes he gets mistakenly called Brock, and he's very grateful that he is actually Brooks. That is driven to right center. Friedel. It's the best batted ball, and they're all outs. Don't miss a moment this season with Reds.TV. Watch on any of those channels or stream the entire campaign in Reds territory for just $99.99. Visit Reds.TV for details. Start streaming today. Strike one on Ke'Bryan Hayes, who was 0 for 3 yesterday. He is now 3 for 50 on the year and 6 for his last 87 going back to the middle of September. Now, the Reds that are struggling most significantly are all bunched in order. That's often been the case. Hines, Hayes, and Friedel. And McLean, for that matter. McLean's had a really rough couple of weeks. Called a strike. So Hayes gets punched out. Now, for Bailey Ober, the second and third time through, once teams get a look at him, this year the offense tends to jump even more than the usual starter.
Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Goes up from 125 to 265 and then almost 540 that third time through. So they've had a look. Friedel struck out. That came on appeal. It was back-to-back changeups that got him.
Well, when you throw strike one, and that's going to be a huge key for Ober as he moves into this deeper into this ball game, is getting strike one. You get strike one, then you can go to back-to-back changeups.
Bunt. Foul.
And he does exactly that here. The first one he buried, that one he got on the plate. And if you get any kind of awkward swing, then it puts you in a position where you can take a breaking ball, start it on the plate, and get it all. And that's what he tried to do there. But you can't do all those things unless you get strike one.
2-2. That sails to left center. Buxton.
This should be a game for any offensive player that's facing Bailey Ober. You should tell yourself, get jammed. I want to get jammed. Make him jam me, because he's not throwing in, he's throwing away. So what that does from a mental standpoint is it slows you down. Because if you think I'm coming to the plate and I'm going to really try to hit the ball hard, you're going to do exactly what the Reds are doing today. You're going to hit it right off the end of the bat, or you're going to be out in front and pop it up.
And we saw some reaching off the end of the bat contact from McLean. Softly poked a single to right center. Oh, 2. This one driven better to right field. Outman right in front of the wall. Reds go in order.
Chicken just got better at Wendy's.
This is a day you need it. Join the Reds Saturday. Fans in attendance receive a 2026 Hall of Fame induction fleece blanket. Thanks to PNC. While supplies last. Get tickets now. Reds.com/tickets. 1-0. Twins have the lead. 9-hole hitter James Outman has begun his year 0 for 18, 10 strikeouts. Takes ball 1 from Brady Singer. He was a deadline deal for pitcher Brock Stewart late last July. Defensive replacement in the 9th yesterday. He was the addition when Wallner was a later scratch with the rib issue. Wasn't that long ago. Outman was 3rd for Rookie of the Year in 2023. So Corbin Carroll claimed it for Arizona. Matt McLean, I thought, was very much in that conversation before his own side issue derailed his year in that August. Might have broken his bat. Routine right. one down.
That wasn't a nasty slider, but the slider was just enough off speed where you could see Outman spin those hips early, thinking he's going to hit the ball into the target field area down that right field line. He opens way too soon, and he hits it right off the end of the bat.
Byron Buxton, infield hit, scored a run that is earned. Swing and miss, strike one. He does seem a little prone to that this series. On the whole, he's had good at bats, but if there's any one thing that has stood out, he's reaching a bit, pitches just off the plate away.
Yeah, he's definitely opened the zone a little bit. We saw that in game one. Now, he's opened the zone a couple of times and gotten a hit.
Yes.
But not the kind of Byron Buxton hits that we're used to seeing. And I think part of that is a byproduct of being a little more aggressive.
Buxton on his career known for his combination of power and speed. It's been singles this series so far. Top softly and foul. Seeing any difference in the breaking ball of Singer yet?
It's getting a little bit better. The ones that are down are the best ones as far as pitch execution. That pitch there, I'm sure he's glad that Buxton hit over the top of it, because it was just a spinner up and away, and normally in the middle of the season Buxton doesn't let you get that ball back.
Check swing, appeal.
Nice. That was a nice one there. And that's part of why you just continue to throw it, and you just force it at the bottom of the zone over and over and over again. And then you try to realize a better feel, and sooner or later it comes right back to you.
And he's aboard on a walk. Now, something Buxton has not been doing so far this year is run. He is the most efficient base stealer in baseball history among men that have reached the century mark in swipes. It's a little surprising that he hasn't run more.
Well, as many leg problems as Buxton has had throughout his career, I would imagine if he's wearing that thing on his head to stay warm, he's probably not going to run. Cold weather, tight legs.
That should allow Singer to focus on Larnach, who walked his first time. Buxton last year was 24 for 24 trying to steal. He has not been caught in a couple of years. He does not have a single stolen base attempt this season.
Grady Sizemore, the first base coach for the Twins. Man, I love watching him play. You talk about a guy that was aggressive and got after it. He was a fan favorite from the get-go.
Turned on into right field, base hit. Buxton sprinting through second base. Hines has it, fired toward third, cut by De La Cruz. Base hit Larnach, first to third for Buxton.
Did not catch this ball on the barrel, but he definitely alligator armed it. It was a fastball up and in. It ran back to the plate just enough to where Larnach could catch it.
Josh Bell is fly to left. Fly ball like that again. It'll be 2-0. First pitch fouled away. What a shot. To right field, Hines. Buxton scores. First to third, Larnach. Ball in, booted at first by McLean, but he corrals it. RBI hit for Bell. 2-0.
Again, the fastball on the inside part of the plate. This one stayed on the corner. Bell just too strong.
Victor Caratini has bounced into a couple of double plays this year. Pops the first pitch foul. Key Brian Hayes no play. Caratini sac fly to center his first time. Puts the ball on the ground a lot on his career, about 50%. Big league average he is around 42 during his big league time. And signals from Marone Borrego coaching at third. Larnach off third base. Bell held on. Grounded right side and through. It leaks for a hit. Larnach scores. 4 straight Twins have reached. The Reds are down 3-0.
And all of these left-handers are leaning on the pitch that's been close to them and pulling it through the right side of the infield or over the right side of the infield. And the best defense to that is being able to use the changeup down in a way that would run off the plate where those hitters would run out of bat. Then you come back to the inside part of the plate. But the changeup for Brady Singer has not been a pitch of high usage. So when you are basically fastball slider and one of those pitches is not quite working for you, you become a one-pitch pitcher and the hitters just sit on it.
Overwhelmingly sinker slider today. Clemens struck out swinging his first time. This is a big at bat.
Well, you just can't let the game get away from you.
Yep.
Well, the way that the Twins bullpen has pitched or lack thereof, you want to keep it as close as possible so that when you do get into that bullpen, you have an opportunity to make a comeback as the Reds did in yesterday's ball game.
We just have not seen nearly enough consistency from the Reds offense. Meanwhile, the Twins do have 6 blown lead losses. Only the White Sox, Mariners, and Blue Jays entered the day with more. Singer north of 20 pitches on the inning. Began with a walk to Buxton and 3 straight base hits. To left field. Steer on the fly. Runners halfway. Have to run back. Oh, Keyshaw to the plate, who rallied from 0-2 to full and flied out his first time.
And did a little bit of ABS challenging along the way.
That's right.
That created a bit of a controversy.
Survived the initial punch out. He has used the Rocky theme of Gonna Fly Now as his walk-up song going back to his college days. There's a lot of love and appreciation for those in the boxing community. Sends this ball to center. Now a brief conga line plates a pair. Reds down 3. Ellie De La Cruz will stand in and lead it off.
Sense. That's simple human sense.
That's simple human sense.
It's down 3. We shift to the 4th. Welcome back to the booth here at Target Field. Now Cowboy just last inning when the Reds were up, you were talking a bit about getting jammed, and not Spaceballs reference, though the new one is coming. A mentality for the hitters. You don't mean actually in on their hands, or the thought process.
I'm not talking about trying to hit the ball off the top of your top hand. What I'm talking about is a mental cue, a philosophical change. Instead of trying to get the barrel out there, you're trying to slow yourself down the best that you can. And by thinking about getting jammed, you're very actually going to be right on time.
Raspberry. Only one man would dare give me the raspberry. 1-0. In for a strike to De La Cruz, who softly grounded out to Ober his first time. I can't wait for the new Spaceballs, Cowboy.
That's not my kind of movie, John, but I know that is for some folks. I get it. I need some shooting. That kind of stuff.
Well, Princess Vespa got her hair shot and then took out like a whole horde of Spaceball troopers.
You've just listed off names and situations that I am unfamiliar with.
My hair. He shot my hair. Down and in and gets by.
But the other part about that getting jammed philosophy is it gives Bailey Ober a tough read, because once you're starting to wait on his pitches, boy, he is in a bad spot because he's only throwing 88, 89.
De La Cruz to right field. That can be trouble. That's down for a hit. De La Cruz starts to second. Outman in right, fire in. De La Cruz trying for three. The relay. Safe, and the ball popped free. A triple for Elly De La Cruz to ignite the fourth.
I mean, this is a cool daddy triple. Elly comes around first. The ball gets into the corner, and he's not even in second gear going from first to second base. But I think he saw the ball kind of take a different rattle, and then he kicked it into high gear heading into third.
You're going to score a double E9. Out of our view, Outman must have had trouble getting that ball. Now Stewart, who saw one pitch and grounded out his first time.
Dropped the ball out in right field, and Elly had slowed up, and he saw it and then the afterburners on.
We'll make it 5 doubles for De La Cruz. Twin defense has been wanting. And here's a giant chance for the Reds to not just get a run. This is third base to begin the inning. Assemble an inning against a starter who has struggled for the last couple of years.
Begin the onslaught. You've seen him now.
Up the middle, De La Cruz comes home. Off the backhand, Keyshaw on a bounce gets Stewart. He gets an RBI. Reds on the board. It's 3-1.
Looked like the ball was struck well off the bat of Sal Stewart. He just happened to hit it right where Keyshaw was playing.
Eugenio Suarez, a line drive out to third his first time. He is among the Reds that have homered against Ober lifetime. We have not seen a home run this series. That's something that rarely happens at Target Field, chilly or not. Last series of 3 games or more to not see a homer was Pirates Reds last year. The last Twin series of 3 or more games where neither team homered, 2013 against the Phillies. 2-2. Ober gave up a career high 30 last year.
Well, you can see what Ober's doing. Ober is pitching away, trying to capitalize on the Reds' over aggressiveness, trying to go after his substandard stuff. He's not pitching in. He doesn't want to pitch in. He might run right into the barrel.
Suarez saw that change up. 3-2.
The ball in, you have to be quick as a hitter. The ball away, you have to let the ball travel, and you have to be even more patient.
A walk drawn by Suarez. So 3 straight productive plate appearances. That's the second walk issued by Ober. Spencer Steer reached on a breaking ball away his last time. Foul tip, strike 3. Does he stay back? He's probably the Red whose swing profile and offensive nature matches up with Ober the best.
Without a doubt.
And he checked his swing on a slider away. That's the same kind of pitch that got him his last time.
Problem is, you can't want it too bad, especially with a soft tosser, and you have to be able to force yourself mentally to wait. And the more crucial the situation, the adrenaline begins to rise, and when adrenaline rises, you begin to jump.
Jammed pop, it goes to the seats. And with how they're aligning the defense right now, they have Keyshaw on those first couple of pitches up the middle. Looks like he may fade off a bit. That right side is a cavernous space. What a cool shot. Oh, 2. Down and away, down and away.
Even a half of a blink of an eye waiting for a hitter is an eternity. It is so difficult to do because you were taught to be quick, 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 quick. You got to get to 100. And all of a sudden you get a guy out there throwing 88. It's almost like you want to take a softball swing. You want to drop the hands down to the hips and then bring them back up into the power position.
If you keep taking, though, I'm not sure if Ober can get a backward K today. He seems very shy about being in the zone.
Well, the patience is starting to come for the Reds here, and not as aggressive as they were the first time through.
Payoff. Called strike. And a rather understated punch out there.
This is the reason that Ober has dropped his arm, so he can try to run the ball back. It looks like it's a ball, and then it starts to tail back towards the outside corner. So you get the hitter to give up on it, and that's a pitch you probably should have challenged.
Stevenson first pitch, right field. Outman. No challenge, then a fly ball. Reds get a run. Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by your Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Ram dealers, and by UC Health. Expect more at uchealth.com. Another chilly day in the north. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Handshake signaling the connectedness of those cities. Right above the Target Field sign. That's dead center here in downtown Minneapolis. Tristan Gray fly to center his first time. Rips on strike 1. Now, Jim Day, there's a lot of respect between Derek Shelton and Terry Francona, to the point where Shelton reached out to Tito before coming to take the Twins job.
Yeah, switching organizations and even switching cities is a different animal, and Tito's done it a few times. So he reached out to Tito, and Tito took the call and gave him any advice he could. And Shelton was very complimentary of Tito, not only for doing that, but just the way he's handled himself over the years. And Shelton's gone as far as to compare him to Andy Reid of NFL fame. We told told Tito that, and he said, "Why? Because we're both large individuals." We're like, "No, that is not the reason why." It's because he feels like he's been able to adapt as the game has changed over the years, and Andy Reid has done that same thing in the National Football League. So high praise coming from the other dugout.
And of course also the parallels that each was let go. Tito was your skipper in Philadelphia. That did not end well. But then his next stop, he wins multiple World Series with Boston.
Well, let me say this. You have to have talent to win. And at that point in time in Philadelphia, we were not ready to win.
I always think of Joe Torre. And when he was named skipper of the Yankees, the headlines on the tabloids were Clueless Joe. He was a terrible manager. And then he had some good players, and he had a pretty good run. 3-1 on Lee, who was fly to center, whose pops, as his collegiate coach at Cal Poly, wore the same number as Brooks, just as he does in the big leagues. They both wore 22. They got special permission from the NCAA to allow for it. Dad always had a hoodie or some other gear on over top of his jersey, but they were both the same number on the same team. He grew up with a lot of paraphernalia, had autographed jerseys. His walls in his bedroom were all posters of big league players. Payoff from Singer. Down and in. That's a third walk drawn by the Twins. One out runner for James Outman. There it is again, Cowboy. That scent of the sausage, peppers, and onions. They must fire that grill in the 4th inning.
It's rocking right now.
Oh, right on cue. Broken bat sound, flared over short. Soft hit, a rip through second, scooped by Steer. He pumps to third, wisely throws to second. Lee goes first to third. Base hit for Outman, his first of the year. He snaps an 0 for 19 start.
Great base running by Brooks Lee, and you can see the aggressiveness of Outman. He was heading for second base. If Steer comes up throwing to third, he's not going to get Brooks Lee. And there is a 99.9% chance that Outman would have been standing at second base.
It's now a giant spot. Buxton takes a strike. The Reds were only able to eke out the 1 run in response. Buxton's been aboard twice. The top half of this Twins lineup has had Singer's number lifetime. All have had good days today. 0-2.
Buxton looked like he was just trying to shoot the ball through the right side of the infield with that swing. Got a wide open hole. But it has been the breaking ball lately that Buxton has hit with authority.
Singer home. Jam pop. Stewart.
That's a couple of good pitches there by Brady Singer. You get that fastball up and away that Buxton swings through for strike 2. Buxton's got to have in the back of his mind, I've got to guard against that breaking ball. I don't want to swing at it off the plate. And then you get a strike on the inside corner, so you try to alligator arm it, and he ends up popping it up.
Trevor Larnach has been on twice. Walk, base hit, a run scored. Runner off from first. Pitch called a strike. They do throw down. Break from third. De La Cruz. Oh, it's there. Dead to rights.
You can't run on Ellie. Not that close. Come on.
Delayed double steal. They try to get cute, and De La Cruz cuts him down.
I mean, that's deader than a doornail.
Who is that masked man?
FuboTV.com.
The man famous for stealing home denies at the dish for the Redlegs. Ellie De La Cruz gets his man. Bailey Ober gets strike one on Reese Hines.
And there was no panic in Ellie. You could see by the body language. He just caught the ball, made the step forward, threw the strike to the plate.
Hines struck out swinging his first time, saw a sea of sliders. Here it's all sweepers so far, 2-1. This has a very similar feel to yesterday's game. Bit of a plodding pace right now. Reds down a few runs, but still in that striking distance. They waited until the very late stage to mount their rally, a picket fence, the last 3 innings yesterday.
But if you are heading in that direction, you have got to keep the ball game close.
Strike 3. Saw a fastball in the zone, 1 down. So Hines has struck out twice. Ober has 6 on the game, including a backward K of Key Brian Hayes. Sent to center right at Buxton. 2 down. Brief word now from the Kia Telluride. TJ Friedel has struck out. He has flied to center. It's gone final to AAA. Louisville beat Toledo 2-1. Lost a shutout in the 9th. The 2 runs. First inning homer by J.J. Bleday. A lot of his power has come in the last week plus. Turned on and bounced past the backhand of Clemens. Broken bat hit for TJ Friedel.
Get jammed.
Let's see if Matt McLean can channel Councilman Jam here. He is singled. He is flied out. Take strike 1. Oh, and 2. Friedel goes, miss away, later throw down, tails just saved by a leaping Luke Keyshaw. That was not a pretty exchange, a pause and a tailing throw from Caratini. So Friedel gets the swipe. Now a base hit could mean a one-run game. Caratini wants to talk to Ober.
Hey, we're going to go second sign, so whatever I tell you on the pitch comm the first time, disregard. We're going to do it twice.
Friedel's going to need a new belt.
That's what Willie Harris is bringing him?
Yes.
Blow up on that slide?
Yep.
Is he in Chicago by chance?
Luckily, he's not. And those are, at times, they have their own belts nowadays, but they are team provided if you need one and don't have to go and buy a $500 belt.
Well, in my defense, I did not know a lot better at that point in time. And I didn't even know a belt cost $500 at that time.
Just handed them the credit card, right?
Learn a lesson learned.
1-2.
I'm sure most folks have heard that story by now.
When you're shopping on Michigan Avenue, be prepared to pay.
We'll be their next trip.
That's right.
It might be $600-700 by now.
Looking. Red strand a man in scoring position. Join the Reds for Star Wars Night, Saturday, May 9th. The ballpark will transform into a galaxy far, far away. Fans in the house, a Grogu bobble, thanks to Tri-Health while supplies last. Reds.com/tickets. Now the Reds down 3-1. They have just 3 hits. There have been a couple of times this game that perhaps a challenge should have been used. Trevor Larnach was at the plate during the delayed double steal try that saw Lee cut down at home. He's been on twice. But Spencer Steer, the backward K in the 4th that came after the Reds had a run in, had a man on. And then Matt McLean with a man in scoring position to end last inning. Both times it looked like that pitch that got the man was out of the zone. Turned on early and allowed foul. Brady Singer today, it feels somewhat similar to how Andrew Abbott had to battle against the Twins in yesterday's game. And those two were among the steadiest in terms of starters, providing innings, giving the Reds a chance to win last year. Both are off to uneven starts this season.
And I think for both of those guys, we saw Abbott do it yesterday. We're seeing Singer do it today, where it may not be your best stuff, it'll be your best effort, but it may not be your best outcome. But what you're trying to do is keep your team in the ball game so that they can have some chance to rally against the bullpen and the Twins that is very susceptible to late inning rallies.
I would imagine strong chance the Reds will see Andrew Morris at some point today. Up and away a walk, who is a longer inning option and is a velocity hurler. It's probably a good pairing for someone that not only covers innings but such a contrast to how Ober pitches. Leadoff man is on for a second time this game for the Twins. Josh Bell, RBI hit his last time, is also flied out. It's now 4 walks for Singer today.
Well, it was obvious from the beginning of the ball game that Singer, there was some issue with Larnach. That's what surprised me so much, that the Twins put on the double steal with Larnach standing at the plate and 2 outs.
The Singer has issued a season high 4 walks today. He had 3 total on the season entering this game. Ober has tied his season high with 7 strikeouts today. Two and one.
And those stats that we throw out prior to the game beginning about the Twins hitting Singer well, those types of things, whether it's Singer or anybody else, I know that pitcher knows that. Everybody, you know it as a pitcher, the teams that own you, that hit you well, that you really have to buckle down just to stay out there. Now, that's not what you talk about in an interview. You're not, when you go to an interview prior to the ball game, a week ahead of time or whatever, well, you got the Twins coming up, you're talking about, oh yeah, I'm prepared, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You don't talk about, well, in my career they just absolutely kill me. They don't say that. But in the back of their mind, they know exactly what that question is about.
Ripped by Bell to right, but right at Hines. Runner halfway. Hines holds. Larnach able to get back. How would you handle that? Were there certain teams like that for you, and what was your adjustment? How did you handle?
Well, I think more times than not, and I really didn't learn this until I had 5 or 6 years in the big leagues. The teams that hit me hard were teams that really leaned out over the plate and covered the ball, that whether it was the backdoor breaking ball or the fastball, they would lay off the split. And what I found out is I just didn't pitch inside enough, because I thought that they were powerful and that they would hit the ball so far if I pitched inside. So I didn't want to throw the ball in because I was afraid of giving up a tape measure shot. I didn't want it to be thrown out there on the MLB network or ESPN back in those days. And so you just pitched away. Well, truth be known, once I had a catcher that said, hey, don't shake me off. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, follow me in. Follow me in.
3-0 swing. Fly ball out.
And once I did that, the game came to me really quickly. I could still remember pitching against the Philadelphia Phillies, and they had so many left-handers. That lineup was loaded with left-handers. I'd throw it away. They were just ripping me into the gap throughout my career. And I can remember talking with Gary Carter. He said, hey, follow me in, follow me in, follow me in. And once I did that, it totally changed everything.
Clemens pops it up for his pitch. With Connor Phillips just starting to warm, Singer works around that leadoff walk, following his catcher. 3-1, the Reds trail.
Taking care of our own.
Reds have been held in check by 6'9" Bailey Ober. Is out so far. StatCast 3D, Google Cloud.
He has had quite a bit of success on the outside corner with his fastball, a comeback fastball, if you will, especially to right-handed hitters starting away and coming back to the outside corner.
And 3 of those backward Ks have come on pitches off the plate away to righties. Now, there has been another game, at least one this year. We'll get a challenge here.
Strike one call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, where the Reds try to adjust exactly this way during the game. Is Ellie right? He is not. That's a strike.
The pitch is a strike. Cincinnati has 1 challenge remaining.
The Reds saw in one game that a pitch that looked to be down was being called a strike, and told the hitters, hey, if you think there's a ball that is down, that is being called a strike, let's try to start using those challenges. In this game, it's been that glove side away to righties that has been called a strike. De La Cruz lifts. One away.
Well, you have two things working against you from a hitter's standpoint with the Reds. It's cold. The ball's not carrying. I think you pretty much know that coming into today's game. And you've got a pitcher that's throwing below hitting speed, so you have to generate all the power. So anything that you would normally do to lift the ball, there's two things working against you. You got no power from the pitcher, and the ball's not going anywhere. So it would make perfect sense that you would try to stay on top of the ball, shoot the ball back up the middle, wait as long as you possibly can. Now, me saying that and the hitters doing that, that's a whole different category.
0-2 to Stewart.
Because when you're in the fight and you're in the moment, you do what comes to you best, and that's being quick and trying to get the barrel through the strike zone. The toughest thing for a hitter to do is to try to slow down.
Swung through, strike 3. Season high 8 strikeouts for Ober.
And that's that comeback fastball. This one ran back over the middle of the plate.
At this point, he's been so pitch efficient, barring a rally here with 2 down. I would think there's a good chance he's coming out for the 7th, something he has not done this year. Suarez is lined to third. He's also walked.
Well, I've always been a big believer that if you can command the outside corner, you will own a hitter. And I'm not talking about middle away or a ball or two on the plate. I'm talking about right on the outside corner, right down at the bottom of the kneecaps, because the hitter has to lean out there to get to that pitch. And you can only throw one pitch that's up and in. He will not lean out there again.
Looking. Join the Reds for Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesdays. Every Tuesday home game, you can enjoy select $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice cream cups. Get tickets now, Reds.com/Tuesday. Luke Keyshaw, first pitch, bounce foul.
John, what is a golden K-pop demon hunter?
K-pop Demon Hunters, a huge Netflix film. And the concerts with the actual actors that provided the voices, incredibly popular. Sequel is being made right now. My daughter is a huge fan of a lot of K-pop, including K-pop Demon Hunters.
See, I knew that I could ask you that and you would tell me that, especially after that spiel that you put out on some kind of space dance or something.
Spaceballs. Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, K-pop very popular. BTS, an incredibly popular K-pop.
BT what?
BTS.
Now what is that?
It's a boy K-pop band. So think like New Kids on the Block or like a larger version of Hanson or Menudo, but Korean.
I didn't listen to any of those things that you just said.
Lifted to right field. Resigns.
But I knew you would know.
I could try to talk to the guys. I mean, they have some music on the plane. Maybe they'll work some K-pop in.
You know what? I think I'm going to pass on that. I'm just going to stick to my Toby Keith and George Strait, and I'll be all right.
Some pretty upbeat tunes. Tristan Gray, who has flied to center, flied to right. And who knows? At some point, there may be a K-pop concert at one of the Great American Ballpark concerts. Check swing foul.
That's good. That means there'll be no traffic as I'm leaving. It's perfect. Everybody will stay. I'll be at the house. I might even make my reservation at Carlo and Johnny's.
Oh, that sounds good. I still haven't been to that location.
Carlo and Johnny?
Yeah, I've done downtown Ruby's. I've done the Precinct. I have not done Carlo and Johnny's yet. I know that's one of the favorite of Joel Lucko.
It is. I love it. It's a great restaurant and good people. And I tell you what I love is inside of that building, and all of his restaurants are this way, but even more so at Carlo and Johnny's, the chandeliers and just the decor is just that old time Americana, and it just I absolutely, being a Southern kid, I love it.
Yeah, we learned when the Giants were in town, Sean Estes said that during his visits as a player, he would often go up to Carlo and Johnny. Brooks Lee, who has been caught stealing at the plate. He's also flying to center. Backdoor strike. You know that I love a good filet.
I know you do, brother, and they have a good one.
Hard foul. We're going to get into Tampa pretty late tonight, though. Had a 3-hour flight, lose an hour with the time zone change.
Yeah, my days of eating that 48-ounce porterhouse at about 10:30, 11 o'clock are over.
You went with the big steak in this city, though.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to say that because my cardiologist might be listening.
Now, it is true that I ate about a quarter of that steak.
Yes, I did give some of that away, so props to me on that.
Oh, 2 to lead. Well, Singer worked around the leadoff walk in the 5th. He's bidding for his second 1-2-3 inning of the game. He's giving his team a chance to win.
He really is. I mean, you look back at how this game started and how things looked early. You were thinking this might be a short afternoon for Brady Singer. He stayed right in the fight. It's a 3-1 ball game, and he has kept his team right in there.
Well, big pitch to come. Phillips started warming last inning. North of 100 pitches. This has to be Singer's last man. And a shot at a second straight quality start. 3-2. Grounded to McLean. 6 solid from Singer. Can the offense get to over?
Nothing outshines a blue moon.
Second straight quality start from Brady Singer. He got 7 fly ball outs. The only ground ball out, the final one to give him 6.
Look, that's your job as a starting pitcher, is to give your team a chance to win. On this afternoon, Brady Singer has done just that. Now he needs his offense to come to the party.
Twins bullpen has action. A buzz of Steer, who has struck out twice. Oh, familiar face. Oh, no, looks like a couple of right-handers are up. Pitch in there for a strike. Taylor Rogers is part of the double barrel going out there. Two check swing appeal. He did not go. Payoff is a ball. And Steer, who only had 3 walks on his season entering this game, draws the lead-off free pass.
Well, that's the first at bat here today that Steer has really slowed it down. And you could see Bailey Ober in the way that he was going about it. Maybe had to change his routine with the approach of Steer in that at bat.
Tyler Stevenson. Ball one. Stevenson worked the first walk from Ober. That was back in the second.
He called that a strike.
Nope.
Hunter is awfully late with some of these strike calls.
0-1. Ober has not gotten an out in a 7th inning since he went 7 in later June of last year. That was against the Mariners. Early turn again. Willie Harris does a dance to get out of the way. Fourth is when the Reds got their run. Challenge ABS powered by T-Mobile. Called a ball. That is a ball.
Twins will have one challenge remaining.
So each team has one challenge left to lose by 0.4 of an inch.
If you're throwing like Bailey Ober in the minor leagues, if you're in AAA and you're throwing as he is today, and he's been terrific today, he's kept the Reds off balance from the get-go, you're never getting called up. And the reason being is you don't throw the ball 95, 96 miles an hour. You can throw 88, 89, and you can get them all out. You can change speeds. You can pitch backwards. You can pitch however you want. They're never going to call you up. And the reason being is the numbers would suggest and the analytics would suggest that you can't be successful long term throwing the way that Bailey Ober is throwing today. And there are folks in this Minnesota Twins organization that are worried about him right now, that he can't sustain a good pace.
Strikes out Stevenson. That's double-digit strikeouts for the 6th time in his career.
And that's the worst part of a guy throwing 86, 87, 88 miles an hour is you see the ball too good and you chase off the plate.
You're running out of opportunities. I know you want to give Hines a run. He's 0 for 2 strikeouts today. Nathaniel Lowe is among the bats on the bench. 2-0. So leadoff walk drawn by Steer. 3-0.
Well, I think Ober is done. He is beyond the 100. Where is he at? 101. If you bring in any left-hander, whether it's Lowe or anybody else to hit, they're going to bring the left-hander out of the bullpen.
Here is a 4-pitch walk. So that bumps Steer up to second.
Here comes your lefty.
And I just think you welcome that, right? And you can always, if you really want to, you got Dane Myers on the bench. If they bring in Taylor Rogers, you send up Dane Myers.
That may very well be the situation that you have here as Derek Shelton is coming to the mound. We may see Bailey Ober come out of the ball game, and Ober doesn't want to come out of the game, but they've already called for the left-hander out of the bullpen, and Terry Francona may counter with Dane Myers. Myers with the game-winning hit yesterday.
So we see the move. Ober, his longest outing since June of last year, is done. He leaves in line for the win, but the Reds have the tying runs on base.
What's in your wallet?
At each and every home game, if a Red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign, one lucky fan wins a new built-in-the-USA Toyota Tundra. Register for the Tundra Home Run Challenge and your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. So the moves have played out the way we thought. Taylor Rogers, the lefty, former Red, got the call. Dane Myers will stand in for the pinch hitter, Nate Lowe.
And Rogers, from what we saw in a Reds uniform, he will run the count full and throw you the 3-2 breaking ball. He's going to pitch on the edges. He's going to start the breaking ball on the plate, break it off the plate, whether it's in or out. And you have to be aware of that as a hitter. If you go up there wildly swinging and overly aggressive, you will get yourself out.
Skyline Chili called to the bullpen. First time Myers and Rogers do battle. Myers has handled lefties well on his career. He has been clutch for the Reds this season. And he takes strike one. Down and in.
When you get strike one as a pitcher, especially as a reliever in this kind of spot, because the pressure reverts straight to the hitter once it's strike one, you can use that breaking ball off the plate twice in a row, sometimes 3 in a row, looking for a chase.
This is in with the fastball. It's the second go round for Rogers with the Twins. Came up with the Twins 2016 through 21. It's where he pitched his best baseball.
He counts on you chasing.
2-2.
The hitter is challenging the strike two.
Reds have 1 to lose. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
That ball's low.
But just got the zone.
Strike. Cincinnati has no challenges remaining for the rest of the contest.
Wow.
And Myers has had some tough run with challenges.
That's a tough one right there.
2-2. Driven to center. Buxton going back. Flip in. The runners were halfway. A well hit out. And now left on left, it's going to be up to TJ Friedel to keep the inning going.
That ball was hit hard. On a normal day, you might rattle the wall. On this day, with this kind of weather, with this cold temperature, the ball goes nowhere.
That was the hardest hit ball of the game.
Yes.
That was 104.
There have been few that have even gotten to the wall in this series.
Gray is back at third. Friedel nearly got hit. McLean, who has handled lefties far better than righties, is the on deck man. Friedel has seen Rogers a bit over the years. He's 1 for 4 against him with a walk.
Well, I would say Friedel playing behind Rogers in center field got about as good as vantage point as anybody else as to what his stuff does and where he pitches and how he pitches.
That's a good point. Jammed pop. Gray. Red strand 2. We'll keep it here for God Bless America.
This time we ask that you please rise as we welcome 2026 Twins audition winner Jill Martin from White Bear Lake as she sings God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Toyota game summary. Reds down to deuce. Brady Singer, quality start. Bailey Ober, 1 unearned run. 10 strikeouts for the 6th time in his career. Caratini with a base hit has knocked in 2, including a sac fly. The Reds hitters 4 through 9 are a combined 0 for 14 with 8 strikeouts. Dane Meyer stays in the game in center. TJ Friedl now in left. Connor Phillips, the new pitcher. And changes at the corners as Spencer Steer takes over at first base. And Sal Stewart is now the third baseman. Reds bench is now Will Benson and P.J. Higgins. Tristan Gray, a broken bat, base hit his last time. He's also flied to right. Phillips, a fine start to his year.
And I like the fact that
longer look. Stewart reaches up and makes the catch.
Wow, that's a great play by Sal Stewart. He had to go a long way to get it. You know he could hear footsteps of Friedl coming up on him in a hurry, and he gets back there and makes the play. Tell you that there is nothing that Sal Stewart has done so far, whether it's been at second, first, or at third base, that you can't really like right now. And there was a lot of doubt as to how he was going to play defensively. You know what? The kid's just a ball player.
He has been up to the challenge often. Byron Buxton has been on base twice, infield hit a walk, has scored twice.
Tell you what I really love about Sal, he makes no excuses. Well, I was playing first and then they moved me to third, or I was at second and then I went over to first. No, he just gets it done. And I know we're only a month in, or less than a month in, but I like what I see.
I mean, heck, really, last year it was the opposite. He never complained when he struggled to get playing time and was pretty productive. It was a later promotion after dominating the minors.
It's an attractive quality to have a player on your club, especially a very young player, that comes to beat you.
Swing and a miss. Nasty sweeper. First strikeout for Phillips today.
Here it is. No, it's not. But what I was saying about Phillips is I think it's great that Francona is using him very aggressively here early in the season, over and over and over and over. And there are a lot of folks out there that may say, guy, he's using the kid too much. He's running him out there every day. What he's doing is he's making it feel normal for Connor Phillips. And when this feels normal, you're going to get that high-end stuff on a regular basis without a whole lot of thinking negatively. If you're Connor, you're just going to go get it. And right now, he's just going to get it.
Larnach's been on base all 3 times at the plate. Base hit, 2 walks, has scored a run. Phillips getting his, while Andrew Morris, a hard-throwing, longer reliever, is now warming. Reds have 2, 3, and 4 due up. Might be more hitting speed from the harder-throwing pitcher. Because among the Reds that'll be up, it'll be McLean at the start, then De La Cruz and Stewart have both handled heaters very well. Called strike. Again, a later call. Larnach was about to toss the bat. Now calls time.
Hunter Wendelstedt Jr. has always been that way, and his dad was that way.
Payoff.
Oh, I might challenge that one.
They don't have any.
Oh, that's right. Can't challenge something you don't have.
That looked like a nice backdoor breaking ball.
Yes, it did.
Yep. Looked like it clipped the zone.
It did.
Pinch runner is on. Austin Martin. Bell, sword strike. And Martin's in not just to run for Larnach, but also, yes, a massive defensive upgrade. Larnach has not looked good in the outfield. Hasn't been a case today, but earlier in the series. Bell off the end of the bat. Stewart and Stevenson look. Sal from third. 2, 3, and 4 due up.
Answers now at the Home Depot.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got you covered. MLBshop.com/Reds, official source for Reds gear. First pitch missed by the new man on the mound, Andrew Morris.
Andrew Morris has not pitched much, but he has not walked a batter yet. He's only got a couple strikeouts. But the 6 hits in 3 innings, that ought to help you if you're a Reds fan at this point. Find something you like and tattoo it.
Overwhelmingly sinker sweeper against righties. Loves to use the 4-seamer to lefties. Both fastballs are 96-97 by average.
Well, right now he is 1 pitch away from his first walk of the year.
Pops a strike. McLean has singled, fly to right, and struck out looking. Reds have double barrel both Graham Ashcraft and Kyle Nicholas. Got to think it would be Ashcraft if they tie or take a lead. Nicholas if they're still trailing. McLean works a walk. This is a prime chance for the Reds.
Well, it is. You are only trailing by 2. It's a 3-1 ball game. But let's harken back to the 7th inning. The Reds had a leadoff walk to begin that inning as well and did not do anything with it, and had another walk in the inning as well.
De La Cruz has doubled and scored the only Reds run. Squared a bunt, pulled back and buzzed by Heater high and tight. Appeal confirms he didn't yank back the bunt. It's a ball. Morris began his collegiate time in the D2 ranks at Colorado Mesa and got poached by Texas Tech. De La Cruz calls time. The Reds had a lot of trouble with the deliberate slow pitching of Bailey Ober. Similar struggles in the taste of Taylor Rogers. Now facing the gas of the younger pup in Morris. Looking.
And you say to yourself, well, the Reds are in first place. But these are the ball games that when you're pitching this well, you've got to take advantage of it and create some space between you and the rest of the division, because you are playing teams that you should win. I don't care if you win the first 2 games of the series. There's got to be some killer instinct in being able to go out and finish the job in a series and win that 3rd ball game for the sweep. The Reds did that in Texas. They did not do that in Florida. But you've got to figure out a way to not let your guard down when you win the first 2 ball games and you go into game 3 and say, well, we won the series. So what? You got a chance to just blow them out of the water.
The Reds in this game have had abundant chances. They have 3 total hits. They are 0 for 11 with men on base. Outfield plays pretty deep, respecting the power of Stewart even on a chilly day. There has not been 1 homer on the series, but a pitcher that provides some power is on the mound. Down and away.
You have a thought process as a pitcher when you know you have a great offensive club. Hey, I'm just not going to beat myself. I'm going to throw strikes. If they hit it, well, I know we're going to be able to catch up because we have a great offense, but I'm not going to walk the house. The opposite is true for hitters. You know you're going to have a chance to win a ball game because the Reds are playing so well, so you just have to relax and let it all hang loose.
Fouled away by Stewart.
What kills you in the game of baseball is when you think too much. When you get up there to the plate and you start thinking, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. That's what you do when you're in the batting cage and when you're underneath the tunnel and you're hitting in there. That's when you do all the thinking. When you get on the field, you just play. See ball, hit ball.
And the Red that has channeled that the best is at the dish right now.
Thank you very much.
And Stewart has fought off pitches well.
And I think Eugenio Suarez has done that as well.
I would agree.
Eugenio is trying to lead this club by not swinging straight up and trying to hit a home run every time he comes to the plate, because we've seen Eugenio do that. But what Suarez is doing is trying to stay within himself, drive the ball back up the middle, show that that's how you get runners on base and how you move the game along.
And Stewart's focus has been more up the middle other way so far. What we have not seen yet is if a bad breaking ball comes middle in, he can and will turn on that and pull it.
We've seen one of those off of Yuri Perez in Miami.
2-2. It's a second full count this inning. It's what happened to McLean, who walked. McLean goes. Payoff is fouled away. This will be a 9-pitch and counting plate appearance. The 9th one about to come.
The hardest part of playing baseball is being able to turn the page and starting anew the next day. When you're 1 for 50 or whatever you are, and you come to the ballpark the next day, you've got to be able to wipe that out of your head. And that is, admittedly, that is really hard to do. It's a mere impossibility. But if you can do it even a little bit, it helps you start the day anew and start over and think you're going to be able to get a hit today.
McLean goes 3-2, fouled again. Stewart has fouled off 4 2-strike pitches. He's getting that count up from Morris, who has nobody warming behind him.
Tell you, this kid, whether he strikes out or whether he hits a home run here, he is game on ready. He gives you the ultimate battle every time he steps into the batter's box.
Second disengagement.
Because somewhere along the line, you have to have that inner confidence that I'm better than you. Whether you're the pitcher better than the hitter or the hitter better than the pitcher. But you better think you're better than them or nobody's going to give you any credit.
McLean goes, and that pitch is pulled to left. Martin.
He hit that ball pretty well. Cold day. It is truly amazing when the weather is warm, how the ball carries, and when it is really, really cold, it just doesn't go anywhere, even when you hit it hard.
So up to Eugenio Suarez to keep the Zenning alive. First pitch popped. Foul ground. No play. Suarez has walked. He is lined to third, struck out looking. Most of the series, including here, Gray guards the line some at third base. The Reds do not have a hit with a man on base in this game. The only run, De La Cruz doubled, took third on an error, same play, and scored on a ground out.
You know, and all of these things that we talk about from an offensive standpoint, they can change overnight. It only takes one or two batters using the opposite field gap and all this instead of an overswing, and then all of a sudden other guys begin to follow, because there's not a player down there that doesn't want to have great statistics. And once you see other guys kind of change their game, you want to be part of that success.
2-1. Now Suarez in a highly advantageous count now. Younger arm that has life on the fastball that has seemed to want to challenge hitters. He tried to attack Stewart, just kept fighting him off. Delayed call off strike. Remember, the Reds are out of challenges. That was out of the zone again.
Suarez immediately looked back to the dugout and waved towards the first base dugout as if to say that ball was outside. It was, but there's not much you can do about it at this point.
McLean goes. That's 26 pitches and counting on the inning for Morris. And there have been a lot of backward Ks on pitches just off the plate away. Got to protect here. First disengagement of this plate appearance. McLean goes. McLean sprints. Suarez strikes out. Leadoff walk never leaves first base. Suarez giving some guff. He is not happy about that second strike. Kyle Nicholas yesterday, his best outing by far as a Red.
Very aggressive within the strike zone. Best breaking ball I have seen him throw maybe ever at the big league level.
It was top of the order, in order, all struck out on 15 pitches. Now he nearly hit a batter twice. Late time called by Caratini here, who steps out. And Jim Day, Tyler Stevenson shared with you they found some form of target system to aid his command.
Yeah, it's always a work in progress. And you know that old saying of just a new scenery and a fresh start and a fresh set of eyes on a pitcher. They went to work on where he is setting up as far as a target goes, and it seemingly worked yesterday.
Well, Tracy and DJ, they make a habit of pushing the limit, trying to get the best out of every pitcher that they have. Great arm in Nicholas. And you want to be able to figure out, okay, why is the ball not spinning the way it should spin? What is the key to him in release point and getting the ball where it needs to be with that breaking ball?
To short, backhand, De La Cruz off 1 foot, a bouncing throw, tag called a miss. Safe the signal. I'm with you. I thought he tagged him. Was it? It had to be short of the bag, right?
I think if he had tagged him before he got to the bag, Spencer would be adamant about it. And Ellie did about all you can do. He gave him a short hop throw.
I just missed.
Just didn't quite work.
I would assume infield hit there. Confirmed. A ball 1 to Clemens, who has struck out. He's 0 for 3.
And when you're young, like Kyle Nicholas, on a ball like that, you think, oh, geez, an infield hit. As you get older, you think, you know what? Decelerated contact, guy didn't hit the ball well at all. That's what I'm after, and you take it as a positive. There's so much negativity to this game overall. I mean, we've talked about some of it with hitting, and pitching is the same way. You have to figure out a way when you leave the ballpark, I don't care what kind of game you've had, figure out a way to take something positive from that ball game. Because you got to come back tomorrow and play. And if you're still dwelling on the negative, it's gonna have a drag on the following day and following ball game and following appearance that you make. Kind of the difference between partly cloudy and partly sunny. Glass half full, glass half empty. And you know those guys. I mean, you know those guys. You talk to people and you're around people. We all are. And the guys that when you look at something and you look at it
over third base hit,
you look at it half empty. That's not how you can't look at it like that in baseball or any sport for that matter.
So a couple of fairly soft hits. 2 on for Luke Keyshaw, who has put the ball in the air 3 times, all outs. And we knew that Morris is a longer option. He went 3 innings in his first big league outing. Threw almost 30 pitches that first inning. There is no action in the Twins bullpen. Remember, there is no set closer. It is entirely by committee. Sailed to right center. Hines has it. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky at MVG. With over 2,200 of the best gaming machines, we got you covered.
Well, Tristan Gray has flied out twice, has struck out once.
And you just look at the aggressiveness of Nicholas here in the last 2 ball games versus what we saw the first couple of times in a Reds uniform. There's a marked difference in how he's going about attacking the hitters. When he gets the ball, he's not walking behind the mound. There's not a whole lot of thinking about it. It's just stay on the attack. And you can key yourself to doing this. It doesn't have to be sports, it can be anything. I'm getting a pop-up here. I'm getting this sale right on this day. I don't care what happens. I'm going to get it. I'm going to figure it out. And you keep pushing in that positive direction. And you know what? Sooner or later, things start to work pretty good for you.
1-2. Got him.
Beautiful.
Now, the Reds do have this series in hand. They're not done yet in this game, but that could be one of the other silver linings of the series. If Nicholas can become another weaponized arm in a very deep bullpen. Back-to-back days called upon in somewhat similar situations. It was tied yesterday. Get strike one on Lee.
The way I look at it, John, is be greedy. Want the extra. Want to be the guy that when the phone rings, they count on you with the bases loaded and nobody out. You want to be that guy.
Lined and caught by McLean.
And then you get a play like that.
Second.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by your Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. For one of car and driver's best, check out the 2026 Honda CR-V. And by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Reds tame to 3 hits. They do not have a knock with a man on today. Batters 4 through 9 have toiled throughout the game. They'll try to get to Andrew Morris. Worked around a leadoff walk, 28 pitches in a scoreless 8th.
Well, all you're really trying to do is apply pressure. Best way to do that, get your leadoff batter aboard. Reds have done that a couple of times here in the 7th and the 8th.
Time for Steer, who walked in the 7th as the leadoff man. He's also struck out twice today.
You got Morris going after a save. You want him to think about it a little bit. The only way you can make him think about it is getting somebody on base.
Appeal, no go.
He doesn't have to worry so much about a solo shot right here, simply because it's a 3-1 ball game. You get somebody on base, and the wheels begin to turn.
To right field.
Here we go.
Down for a hit. Shades of yesterday when Steer is a pinch hitter. Connected on a single that helped spark that rally. Morris looking not just for his first major league save, only his 3rd outing. His first save opportunity. He only has 1 as a pro, period, including his minor league time. He was 1 for 2 in saves in the minors.
And what happens in this spot when you haven't saved a game at the big league level, or you're not a regular closer, you get a guy on base, you start to get to the edges of the plate trying to be too perfect, and you get yourself in a bit of trouble.
He also mostly started between Division II Colorado Mesa and Texas Tech. His only collegiate save came when he was a 17-year-old freshman in 2019. One.
See what happens when you get a base runner on. I don't want to throw it down the middle now. He threw him the pitches down the middle to steer. I don't want to throw it down the middle now. If he hits a home run, it's a tie game. I blow the game.
Stevenson has walked. He's 0 for 2 today. Now the other working element pitches just off the plate away to right-handed hitters have been called to strike a lot. There have been multiple backward Ks for Reds hitters on pitches off the plate away. They have burned their challenges. They did not challenge in many situations they would have won.
Well, in this spot, you if it's close, you've got to swing at it, foul it off, whatever you got to do to live for another pitch.
Down to the Wayne. Reese Hines is on deck. Emilio Pagan is warming just in case. Will Benson is a bench bat available. Payoff. It's smacked to right center. That gets down for a hit. Steer stops at second. The tying runs are on. And here comes Will Benson up the steps. He's going to run at first base, it appears, for Stevenson. That's the Reds' first hit of the game with a man on. The Reds bench is now backup catcher P.J. Higgins, who would have to come out and catch if the Reds forge a tie or take a lead. Corners pinch. Reese Hines ain't bunting here. Ball 1. That's not happening. They have backed up after that first pitch.
No truer words have been spoken.
That's sailed to right. Staggered strides. Outman has it. 1 out. The best batted ball by a Red today came off the bat of Dane Myers when he came off the bench and whistled a line drive out to center. Hit it at 104 in the 7th.
But when you get to this point in the ball game, are you willing to take a single to right field? I made a lot of money knowing that most of those hitters, the answer to that question is no. They wanted to hit it 500 feet.
Myers has been willing to do that. In fact, he squares to bunt and pulls it back. He was clutch yesterday. Soft single.
The hitters that make it tough on closers are guys that are willing to go the other way and hit low line drives, because that way you could let the ball get deeper. You can take borderline pitches. You see the ball better.
Garrett Acton had warmed earlier in the game. He is up and warming again now. 43rd pitch from Morris. 3-0.
And all of this bit of trauma for the right-hander came because of the hit by Spencer Steer with 2 strikes. You just need to get a hitter on so the pitcher thinks about it.
Taking all the way, 3-1. Mike Napoli into the year of Will Benson at first base.
You start thinking about, they might hit it out. You start getting a little tight.
Wide, bases loaded. This is going to be the biggest AB of the year for Reds leadoff man TJ Friedl. Morris gets a visit.
Well, with Benson at second base and relatively good speed, you hit a ball into the left center field gap, you're going to score Benson from second base. You don't have to pull the ball. But more than anything else, TJ Friedl has the ability to take pitches, make the pitcher throw the ball over the plate, especially early in the count, and by doing so, you just apply more and more and more pressure as that at bat mounts.
They've tried to pitch Friedl in a lot. Doesn't have the best command. Morris had 13 wild pitches in the minors. You make a mistake with a walk or a bruise, that's a run. Corners play in. Friedl takes strike one. After that first strike, Clemens, who was in front of Myers, now backs up behind him. Benson high steps to stay loose at second. Friedl swings to right center. That's down in the gap, and the Reds are going to take the lead. Steer scores. Benson scores. Myers home. He's safe.
Oh, baby.
Clear them all. A stand-up three-run double by TJ Friedl, and the Reds again come off the mat in the ninth. It is 4-3 Cincinnati.
It is amazing what you can do as a hitter when you clear your brain and you just become aggressive. And that's exactly what Friedl did in that spot. Just play ball.
The Reds wreck the Twins bullpen in the ninth.
Again.
That's the first extra base hit of the season for TJ Friedl, and it comes at the most clutch time. He had the most plate appearances without extra bags in the majors. These have been a timely group of Reds. Welcome to Club Clutch. It seems like it's the whole squad. Masters of the tightrope walk, ahead by 1 run.
What is great about all of these wins here in Minnesota, especially to come from behind wins, John, is that it takes the entire roster to do it. Not just every hitter, but every pitcher. And those are the types of things that when you get on the plane or you come back to the ballpark, everybody's talking, everybody's feeling good. The mantra begins to rise. Hey, you know what? We can do this. We can do this. So every time that you get down, rather than panicking in some of the situations that we saw last year, hope begins to rise.
Up a run. Should not be done yet. Pagan has been warming. Terry Francona already saw this as a possibility. So his closer is hot. Friedl is in scoring position. Garrett Acton, the new hurler, came over through trade earlier this month for Logan Whitaker.
I think that's one of the things that Tito Francona has brought to this ball club is just the innate ability to come to the ballpark every single day expecting to win. No matter what the situation is, expect to win.
Matt McLean aboard twice, base hit and a walk today. First pitch strike. Right side, Clemens. Outman coming on. He's got it in foul ground. Friedl leaned off second because no one was there. They do complete the throw in. So foul fly ball out. 2 down now. De La Cruz.
You know, John, and they say that the 9th inning is just 3 outs.
A little different.
Way different.
De La Cruz has doubled and scored today. Here is an insurance run at second base. Can De La Cruz connect and get Friedel home on anything in between? I have to think you send him. Hard ground ball. Great stop by Clemens. And he shovels to Acton.
That was a great play.
The Reds have rallied. 3 in the 9th. They look for 3 outs from Emilio Pagan. The biggest knock of the year for TJ Friedel.
/Reds.
What a base hit by TJ Friedel. A double to send home 3. The Reds have rallied to take a 1-run lead. His first extra base hit of the year. Defensive change with Emilio Pagan on. P.J. Higgins had to enter. They had run for Stevenson with Benson, so Friedel is now on the bench with Benson playing left field. Pagan, the former Twin, 6 saves. Only the Padres' Mason Miller and the Diamondbacks' Paul Sewald had more entering the day. Pagan tied for the 3rd most. James Outman leads it off. He snapped an 0 for 19 with a base hit back in the 4th. Strike 1. Pagan got the save against 8-9-1 in the opener. Retired Lee, Larnach, and Buxton. This is golf to right. On a slide, Hines. Outman can run up to second base. His first extra base hit of the year. You had said right before the inning began, you worried about a little pop from Outman.
Yeah, he's just got a. He's got that unique ability to run into one every once in a while. Now, he didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he did absolutely tattoo it.
So now the tying run in scoring position. Buxton has singled, walked, scored twice. He's 1 for 3. Oh and 1. Reds head to Tampa after the game. Rays fell in their rubber match to the Pirates today. They had won 6 in a row before losing 2 of 3 to the Buccos. That could be another first place foe. Rays began the day in first. They're right now in a tie, but the Yankees are playing currently and will either surge ahead or fall behind by half a game. 1-1. Foul tip. It's another truly all hands on deck game for the Reds. Every position player has played in this game. Time for Buxton. Down. Now a lot of Buxton's contact has been pulled often hard. Ke'Bryan Hayes made 2 nice plays against him on the series. 1 got by him. We have not seen Sal Stewart challenged on a well-hit ball to third base yet this year.
A lot of those are off-speed pitches that Buxton gets around.
Up and away. Austin Martin, who had pinch run for Larnach, is on deck for his first plate appearance. A moment for Hunter Wendelstedt had to readjust his mask.
And Martin predominantly plays against left-handed pitching.
Payoff. Jammed him. Calmly caught by Steer.
Now let's go back to last night's ball game. The 3-2 pitch was a split finger with a very awkward swing from Byron Buxton. He looked for a fastball and had to kind of take that real weird swing to ground out. He was the final out of the ball game. You flip the page a few hours later and you see that fastball is right in on his knuckles.
Martin's first plate appearance today. And he does connect at a far higher rate against lefties. He's not the same right on right. He has been a master of getting on base, working a lot of walks early this year. Hard ground ball past the backhand of Stewart. Altman sprinting for third. He rips around. Martin to second. Benson's throw goes there. A game-tying double for Martin.
Yeah, the Reds had Sal way off the line, and the ball just took off between him and the third baseline.
A little surprising to see no doubles against a right-handed hitter there. That's kind of why you play no doubles, right? You concede the single. Bell fouls it away. They must have info that says that Martin hits the ball closer to the shortstop hole. Because often Hayes, who has great range, guards the line in that spot. Oh, 1 to Bell. That's sent to center. Myers after it. Runner halfway. Myers has it. Now, Jim Day, you saw a great read from Dane Myers running the bases.
I mean, a great read, John. Some guys don't score from first on that, even though it was a gap shot. Myers read it so well and he's so fast. He nearly caught the other runners. When Frito cleared the bases, it can't be unlooked how good of a read he got on that.
Critical run. Very well could be needed right here. Victor Caratini doesn't often clean up. Filling in today, takes strike one. He has 2 hits and 2 ribbies, 1 on a single, 1 on a sac fly. Twins entered the series baseball's best hitting team with men in scoring position. They are 3 for 12 today. Reds entered the series dead last. They are 1 for 9. In the dirt, good block by Higgins.
Every pitch in this at bat, game on the line.
One. Way in, almost got him. Did it get him? Points to the dugout to ask. Check it. Clemens on deck. They will not challenge.
And make no mistake, Austin Martin at second base, he can run a little bit.
2-1. Right field, Hines. Free baseball is coming. The third extra inning game of the year for the Reds. 9 not enough. Tied at 4.
Pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Last year, the Reds toiled in free baseball. They really struggled to score. That added up to a 3-12 suffering in extras. They are 2-0 to begin this year in extra innings, and they're going to have their ideal free runner. It is Elly De La Cruz representing the go-ahead run, and arguably their ideal hitter, Sal Stewart, at the plate. If you're going to draw up how the Reds can get ahead in extras on the road, this is it. Garrett Acton got the final 2 outs of the 9th. Reds have a right-hander up in their pen. Looks like Graham Ashcraft. Pitch out of the zone for a ball.
Yeah, you and I were talking about Carlo and Johnny's earlier. Do you know whose birthday it is today?
Whose is it?
Jeff Ruby. And that just happened to come up with our conversation, and my phone starts popping up. I'm trying to clear it, and they're like, hey, you know it's Jeff Ruby's birthday today. Happy birthday, big boy. We love your spot.
Happy birthday indeed. 2-0. That's line to left, but right at a reaching, stabbing grab by Austin Martin. He almost got burned for what assuredly would have then been a couple of bags for Stewart.
That is maybe the hardest ball we've seen hit in this series. I mean, absolutely tattooed. That goes back to what you were talking about earlier, John, about they keep pitching him in. He's going to pull it. Well, he pulled that one with some serious authority.
It was 109, indeed the hardest hit ball. Now Suarez. Well, the Reds have had their well-documented woes with men in scoring position. Their 2 best hitters by average in this spot, Sal Stewart, number 1, Eugenio Suarez, number 2. He has walked on an 0 for 3 day. Now, base hit means a run, but so much focus on the plate. The third baseman, Gray, plays way back. De La Cruz takes third with the best of them. Today also my lovely wife's birthday.
Wow, I didn't know it was Colleen's birthday.
So Colleen shares a birthday with Jeff Ruby.
Jeff Ruby.
Grounded foul. And my mom shares a birthday with Marty Brenneman.
Oh, wow. And that would be the same as Amanda Brenneman, because Amanda and Marty have the same birthday.
Birthday twins.
See, birthdays in the South, that's like fun day. We just blow it out of the water.
De La Cruz dances a bit. Suarez bounces a foul.
Balloons, streamers, big happy birthday signs. It's just what we do. And you only have one per year, you know.
One, two. Bounced it off the glove of Gray. Later break by De La Cruz. He's got third. Bobbled briefly and left by Martin. Now De La Cruz home, and he scores! Backside Suarez to second. The Reds take the lead, and they have insurance in scoring position. Defensive disaster for the Twins.
That shows you the pressure of having the ultimate speed demon on the base pass in Elly De La Cruz. You're trying to make sure you catch it so you can check. You bobble the ball. Here comes Austin Martin. He knows De La Cruz has phenomenal speed. He bobbles it, almost missed it as he went down to pick it up, trying to hurry, and the hurry crushed him.
Spencer Steer takes a strike. It'll be double error. E5 allowing the reach, E7 allowing the advancement. The first two Twins errors in the game come on the same play, courtesy of the speedy De La Cruz. A bit of an awkward slide for Ellie De La Cruz. Watch his shoulder.
It's one of those ones where your hand sticks into the dirt as you come to the plate.
Fouled back. Not a pretty sight. Steer board twice, single, walk, a run scored. That second run is a big deal. Oh, nice catch on the fly. Second row in the mid deck. That one came in hot. Anthony Banda up in the Twins pen. Foul ground, Clemens. Yeah, Cowboy, the second run matters so much because the Twins will have their catcher Caratini as their free runner if they elect to leave him in to run. And then it's a little easier if you're down one to manufacture a tying run.
Right. I thought the aggressive base running of Suarez caused the cut from the third baseman Gray. Saw that a little bit yesterday with McLean taking off between first and second, allowing Suarez to score. I don't think they would have gotten Suarez anyway, but it's the right decision to make as a base runner. The ultimate issue is to try to score the run.
And Matt McLean, by the way, gave all the credit on that decision to Mike Napoli.
Well, Napoli did exactly what you should do as a first base coach.
A good sign to see a smile from De La Cruz reenacting that slide there. 3-2 is swung through, strike three. So now Will Benson will stand in. Banda's been warming. This is Benson's first plate appearance. Banda is one of the Twins' lefties. And they're going to give Benson first base to go right on right against Rhys Hines.
Sometimes these kinds of spots where you think a left-hander is going to come in while you're standing in the on-deck circle and you're kind of waiting a little bit, and then all of a sudden they walk the guy in front of you. It has a tendency to drive you a little bit more and put you into hyper focus. And let's hope that's the case for Rhys Hines here.
Just the second career intentional walk of Will Benson. Ball one to Hines. He walked in the seventh. He is 0 for 3.
Because cold or not, Rhys Hines has the power to hit the ball out in Antarctica.
It's pretty much Antarctica here right now.
Yeah. No kidding.
2-0. Big cut.
But you also, if you're Rhys, you have to kind of push that down a little bit. Just say, hey, I just need a hit. I just need to try to square the baseball.
Walk isn't bad. That's a base hit. Yes, sir. Just inside the chalk. That's a couple of runs. Suarez scores. Windmill Benson. He comes around from first. A 2-run double by Rhys Hines.
Boy, that is some kind of hyper focus, and that's the kind of hit that can elevate you and allow you to relax at this level. Hines was so good in the second half of last year. Spring training, we saw he just absolutely went off, got sent down. He was upset, got sent down, and he still played phenomenal baseball. He gets to the big leagues, a little bit of too much adrenaline early. maybe he's coming into his own. That was a great at bat.
First extra base hit in the bigs for Hines since May 17th of last year. Now, this is an all-in kind of series for the Reds. These have been uplifting games for Kyle Nicholas, for T.J. Friedel, for Rhys Hines. 0-1 to Myers, who has walked and scored. He's also drilled a line drive out to center. Back-to-back innings with 3 runs for the Reds. They have been great late.
But I'll go back to the base hit by Spencer Steer with 2 strikes into right field. It was a kind of a swing with a bit of a governor on it. Same thing for Tyler Stevenson in the same spot. Those types of approaches have a tendency to open the door a bit.
2-2. If Myers reaches, it's Higgins on deck. Graham Ashcraft is ready in the Reds pen. 2-2. Struck him out. A 3 spot for the Redlegs. Happy learned to punt. The Reds have learned to score in extras. Ellie De La Cruz's speed forced 2 errors on 1 play. Ellie De La Cruz, Willie Harris revisiting that slight pause rounding third when the second fumble happened in left field.
Ellie's probably like, don't hold me on anybody. I can score on anybody. I can score. I can score.
Pitching change for the Reds, trying to preserve this 3-run advantage. Graham Ashcraft. Victor Caratini, the free runner. Cody Clemens singled his last time. He's 1 for 4.
When your team is on a streak of winning, that bullpen, the roles just kind of get skewed a bit. You have to pitch in almost any kind of spot.
Graham Ashcraft 0 for 7.
Sounds in the strike call.
In save tries, ABS powered by T-Mobile. That is a strike. Just got the zone. So can Ashcraft bolt it down? Remember that the rules say if you exhaust your challenges and extras, you get 1 for each extra inning. If you enter extras with 2, you can still have that. But if you enter with 1, you don't get an additional challenge. You're capped at that 1. Two.
Well, the key for Ashcraft, and we say it pretty much every time he's out there, strike 1, because a lot of hitters like to take against Ashcraft, especially early, because they want to see the way the ball is moving.
Line to right, but at Hines, who has to dive and makes the catch.
Well, that ball like had some overspin.
It was a bit of an awkward read. I thought that would be a little more routine on contact.
Yeah, in a normal time where it's a little bit warm, that ball probably stays up a little bit. But when it's cold, if it has even the slightest bit of overspin, it's going to dive, and that one did.
Keyshaw. 0-1. There are bench bats available for the Twins. Looks like Ryan Jeffers is on deck to hit. Grounded sharply to second. McLean. Caratini takes third.
Did that go through the umpire's legs?
It did.
That was a major block by the umpire and a great play by Matt McLean.
Carapazza, the crew chief, umpiring second.
He wants this ball. And McLean is trying to move to it. Had to get down quickly.
So Jeffers stands in to pinch hit. Tristan Gray ends his day 0 for 4. We saw Wallner pinch hit and get punched out for the final out yesterday. Ashcraft having some pitch com issues.
No, I think PJ dropped his card out of the back of his, or maybe back pocket or off of that wrist.
Ball one. Jeffers had a 2-run triple yesterday, went 1 for 5. He's got 2 hits on the series.
Well, you win a game like this. This is just a snatch. That's what we love to call it. Looked like the Twins were going to hold on, and the Reds just snatched it out of thin air.
Ashcraft seemed to think that was a strike. You could see that head tilt. Reds do have a challenge if they need it. Hines cheats in some at right. Now Ashcraft and the Reds a strike away. The Reds were down 3-0. They rallied to scratch out a run on a ground out in the 4th. They played it 3 to take the lead in the 9th. And a miss, so the tying run will come to the plate. Brooks Lee has walked. He is 0 for 3. Fly out, ground out, line out. Seemed to go. Appeal says yes. Strike 1. Reds are guarding the line at first with the left-handed hitter. Decent shot. Jeffers could just walk over to second base. Again, a strike away.
Time to bring it on home.
One, two. Graham Ashcraft, a starter during most of his collegiate time and his minor league time. He does not have a save ever. College ball, minor league ball, nor in the big leagues. Entered a game up 3. 1-2. Grounded, just foul, nearly hit another umpire. This time around, Nick Lentz, who had to do a dance.
Space dance. Ball cut right in on the hands of Brooks Lee.
In the dirt, 2-2.
And what you mentioned, John, the no save, that's one of those things that you're trying to put out of your mind if you're Graham Ashcraft, but it's a difficult push.
2-2. Seemed to land a challenge by Higgins.
The catcher is challenging.
Could it end on a challenge? ABS powered by T-Mobile. Ball game!
How about that?
Punched out on challenge, and the Reds complete the sweep in the Twin Cities. They take down the Twins in extras, 7-4.
What about that comeback by the Reds in the 9th and the 10th inning? Some calculated hitting, I might add, from Spencer Steer and Tyler Stevenson to get the ball rolling. But boy, did they kick it into high gear and mash the accelerator to the floor.
Reds have won 5 of 6. They are now a division best 14-8 and unblemished. They have matched their total of extra inning wins from last year. What a clutch club. While the Twins have dropped 4 in a row, they are now back to 500 at 11-11.
When you start winning those one-run games in crucial spots, all of a sudden you feel like you come to the ballpark, we can come back in any ball game. Well, they did it here in 3 straight games.
They were down 3-0 fairly early. They did not know a lead until the 9th. It was lost in the bottom half. But they take it by 3. The Reds are hot. In a battle of what were first place clubs at the series start, the Reds are the only squad that leaves this series in the catbird seat in its division. Post-game show still to come. The Reds take it in 10, 7-4.